Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Tsuki to Laika to Nosferatu episode 5. Uh, I'm not in prime condition, I'll have to admit. The world getting dark so quickly nowadays, only having like 3 hours of sunlight every day it's really bad for my mental state, to be perfectly honest with you, but the seasonals cannot wait until it's summer, right? So we'll have to go through them one way or another. I can only hope that it has little to no bearing on the quality of my commentary. Right. In the last episode, we had a nice tender moment between Lev and Irina by the lake. Irina dancing on skates. It was a pretty scene, perhaps a little bit too long, but pretty nonetheless, and I think it really did convey her feelings to us and to Lev. We got to know that Irina came here not by any order or being cast out or being kidnapped or anything like that. She came here through her own will, by her own volition, right? She wants to go fly in the sky, she wants to go visit the moon before the humans tarnish it. And she seems to share this desire, this dream with Lev, which again creates a really nice duo, a really nice pair of our main protagonists, main characters. As always, we can see that they are getting close. I say as always because pretty much every episode kind of uh, enforces that, establishes that Lev and Irina are getting closer and closer and closer, much closer than their official relationship of a handler and a test subject, right? But I think we all knew that it's going in that direction, and it will cause issues. It's not even it can cause issues, it may cause issues, it will cause issues. We got a little bit of a taste of that when they were in the bar, and the lunch lady came and said, "Hey, you might not want to, talk about foreign music when you're a member of the army. It could be, people are watching, people are seeing, people are hearing, and people are talking. So you might want to be careful." It will be an issue, no doubt about it. I can only ask, when will it be an issue? In this episode, in the next one, will it be an issue at the end of the season, and it'll be kind of a cliffhanger towards the next one? It remains to be seen. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I have to talk about the previous episode. So why not start the current one? Without further ado, let me give you subs. There we go. It is again versioned by subs, please, since they're the fastest and have the most seeds. So why not? Nobody told me to use any other subs, so I'm sticking to those. Tsuki to Laika to Nosferatu by subs, please. Episode 5, starting in 3, 2, 1, now. Bandai visual and Funimation. Right, she's now in the anechoic chamber, I think it was called. Oh, this dude. Yeah, you gotta watch your tongue. And she's all duty as always. Okay. I mean, that's a vampire for you, right? About going to the moon, probably? Or she went into hibernation of some sort. Vampires can sleep in their coffins for like 300 years or so, so maybe she's hibernating as well. Or just dreaming about floating in space. Yeah, the silence is painful. And straight into the OP. Bit too loud. Now, I noticed some cans and bottles and stuff like that inside of her anechoic chamber. I think they're like pretty loud. So, does she have like a given time every day when she can open those? Because she could manage being there by just banging the cans together or something. Although I guess that's not the point of this training, of this exercise. The point of it is to be in silence. So if she were to try to cope with that in some other way, there would be no point to that, right? Russian cursive. Training separately. Okay, so that's our theme for this part of this episode. Stalingrad. Hermes 7. We're gonna pick 8. 6. Right, we don't need 7. We will manage with 6. That's an important question. Last we heard some facility exploded. Off to Gulag with you. Yeah. Hmm. Another attempt at a launch. That failed, I'm assuming. Another one at Albinar. Not enough struts, not enough boosters. Yeah. Yes, of course. That other ship that exploded, that we were testing at Albinar, it wasn't your ship. No worries. Yeah, true. That's true again. Everyone's affirming it. That's just how it is. She's just a test subject. She's a stand in for us. Cardbox, centrifuge, parachuting. Yeah. Lev? Did he slam into the ground? Or did he manage to open? Or did Lev save him? Okay, that's nice. Yeah, you gotta be stone cold. And what would that be? Irina, I'm assuming. And her eyes are glowing. You watch your tongue. Yeah. Disposed of. Yeah. Reminiscing of her homeland. No fan allowed. Flamethrowers. Damn. They're going hard. Holy shit. No mercy. Do they have no way of protecting themselves? Not even like a sword or a spear or something? Just letting themselves be killed? Possibly. Oh, let's hope. And we're getting that tender side of her. She really does like Lev. Training over. Lemon seltzer. Aren't you? Curse the sun. At your sun side. Yeah. More training. She is doing better with parachuting at least. Yeah, calm, collected. 10 days. Yeah, that's the last part of the mission. The most important one. The one that decides if you die or not. Yes, he does. We all know you're more than that. Oh, I guess he has too much of a conscience. First solo jump. That's some nice shots. Will she open the parachute properly, or what's gonna happen? Yeah, they're just dancing in the air. Open the parachute. Here's the dere. Pull the string, open it, and land safely. There we go. No hugs for you. Not yet, at least. We all know the time will come. Or else you'll get tangled up. Yeah, and that. Yeah. Yeah. It's not harsh for the sake of being harsh. And now he actually does have a shot at going to space as well. Both of those both of those things can be true simultaneously. And here we go. A little bit of dere shining through that sun. Or a nuke. Failed launch. I guess the testing didn't go well. There's a dead dog inside. Yep, that's the dog. And that will be you. Because chances are they will not fix the issues in 9 days. Explain what? He saw something falling from the sky and he went to investigate. The launch will be successful. The deorbit won't. It's not a lot. That's not a lot either. There is some sense in what he's saying, but not a lot of ethics. We're running away before the launch, aren't we? I think that's where this is going. 50% success rate, burning to a crisp on re-entry. Neither Lev nor Irina would want that, so chances are them running away won't be a cliffhanger at the end of the season, but will be something that actually happens within the season. There are 9 days left until the launch. I'm assuming 2 days per episode. Hmm. I don't want to speculate too much, but that's my suspicion. Training, training, training. Nightmares. Nosferatu. Well, that's a title and a half. I'm guessing the next episode will be all about Irina. Well, every episode kinda is because she's the main protagonist here, but the next one will be specifically about her. I'm guessing, at least, judging by the title. Yeah, Lev has some free time because Irina is in the anechoic chamber. Only 6 of them will be selected to one up their enemy, who selected 7 of them. If their enemy decides to go with 5, then Motherland will decide to send only 4. And they're gonna continue one upping themselves. Yeah, there was an explosion at Albinar and another failed launch. That was unrelated to your mission. It is very hard to believe. I don't think anybody believes that. Hmm. I guess at least they're getting better. The launches are successful. The orbiting, not so much, but at least they managed to get the launches right. So that's something, I guess. Yeah, we're launching first. He's going into a spin. Huh. Did he? I guess he didn't pass out because if he did, he would have hit the ground. Unless someone else grabbed him and rescued him. Or he had enough. enough wits still left about him to pull the pin and open the parachute. And now he's just suffering the spin, the effects of the spin. Probably. Yeah, Lev got promoted back where he was. He again has a shot at being a cosmonaut. Can't be happy about another's misfortune. And yeah, you'll never be a hero of the motherland if an incident like that gets you down. You need to be stone cold because the motherland has no need for weak individuals. So here will be our next hero. Yeah, she wants to see Irina, and Irina is doing some puzzles, something like that. Ah, yeah, um, which projection corresponds to the cube, the shape presented on the right. That's always fun. That's a really fun logical task. They have it on. They have it on. What's it called? Mensa exams. If you were ever aiming for to be a member of Mensa, although I don't know why would anybody. It's not like it's something super prestigious or anything. That's the kind of test you will have to complete, and some other things among them. And she wants to go out, being like us but different. What will happen to her? Why do you care? Did you perhaps become attached to her? You want her as a cute pet after it's over. Honestly, he should have said yes. Just one, it might actually have influenced their decision somewhat, right? Okay, keep her as your pet. There's a slim chance that would happen, but there is a chance. And second of all, it would show his cold heartedness, right? Oh, yes, I am very well aware that she's only a pet, and I became attached to her as a pet, and thus I would like to keep her as a pet, right? But instead, he denies. Of course not. And her eyes are glowing, glowing strongly. They're dancing, having a good time. This scene is kind of rough, to be perfectly honest with you. It's a dream sequence, so it works. And the military comes in. They aren't even trying to protect themselves. That's something I find weird about it. They completely like demilitarize themselves, cast away all their weapons, all their means of protection to show the world that they are tame and trustworthy. But the military came regardless to wipe them out. Or did they have no time to go to the armory? Or did they just decide that, you know what? I've been living for 700 years. Might as well just go out with a flash. It's weird to me how there's no resistance whatsoever. Will they kill me too? It's possible. A long moment of silence, and she calls out for Lev. And when he comes in, she calls him by his name and grabs his sleeve. It's certainly a mutual feeling between them. Uh, Perhaps not quite full on love from either of them, but they are comrades. They are very much attached to each other. Perhaps there is some budding love between them, but it hasn't bloomed yet, so to speak, to use a bit of a flowery speech. Yeah, she's slowly opening up. Of course, I wouldn't be happy. Why? Why would you even think that? What are you grinning for? There's no dere about me. There's nothing dere. I'm old Sun. Question is, would you have liked it though? Back to training. Yeah, jumping on a parachute. Hotbox again. And Franz is moving out. Transferring, I think. The old scientist probably noticed that he has too much of a conscience, and that's why he's being moved out somewhere where his conscience won't cause any issues. That's my bet, at least. Yeah, it probably is. And now Irina is jumping solo. We have this really cool scene of them flying through the air, trying to grab each other, and then holding her hands. She's all blushing, all flustered, all hot and bothered. Look at me, it's time. He releases her. Everything with really pretty slow music in the background. She pulls the pin and she lands perfectly. A bit off target, but she does land. Practice for a spin, right? If the re-entry goes awry, the craft starts to spin, you have to learn to deal with that because your life depends on it. You have to stabilize yourself so you don't pass out. Makes sense. And yeah, I don't think you're being harsh. It's training to come home safe. Exactly. Lev isn't being a harsh instructor for the sake of being harsh, for the sake of being an asshole. It is for Irina's sake. If he doesn't drill her about jumping safely, about landing safely, about dealing with all sorts of situations that can happen when she's jumping, like getting into a spin, she won't come home safely. The whole harsh training is entirely for her sake. That's how I'm treated her, and yet you want to help me live. Yeah, his training isn't harsh for the sake of being harsh, like the training in the hot room or the centrifuge, right? Those were more torture than a training. Lev is harsh because he actually cares about Irina, not because he wants to torment her. You're weird for not treating me like an object, even though everybody tells you to. And yeah, we're comrades. I want to go to space as well. We share a common goal. We share a common dream. You can think that, but to me, humans are the enemy. Yes, yes, yes. But then we get her to admit that. Come on. You're about the only human I think that isn't bad. You get her to admit that while she might not openly like Lev, she at least thinks of him as a good human. The only the only human that isn't bad, not even good, but isn't bad, isn't actively malicious towards her. I call that progress. And that's all I'm gonna say because I'm at Tsundere. Meteorite? It's not a meteorite. It's a cabin. The re-entry didn't go well. So dog burned to a crisp. I want you to explain everything. What is there to explain? he noticed something falling from the sky, so he went to investigate. It could have been an enemy spy satellite. It could have been a meteorite with rare resources. It could have been an alien ship. It could have been a failed nuclear warhead launched by an enemy country, right? It is his duty to investigate events like that. What kind of soldier would he be if he wasn't curious about it, wanting to check what happened as soon as possible? Thankfully, this dude seems to be on Lev's side, at least as far as saving his own ass goes, right? Because if Lev fails, then he fails. Both of their heads will roll. Maintained orbit, all the data was good. The problem was due to re-entry, heat shield, and re-entry angle. We heard something about stripping away all the weight. I wonder if there was not enough heat shielding. 50%, that's not much better than 30% that was mentioned earlier. Yeah, fill the cabin with explosives. If it falls on enemy territory, blow it up. We can't let our secrets get out, right? We must preserve our secrets. It makes sense in a purely utilitarian way, in a purely pragmatic sense. Doesn't really make sense ethically, not when there's a living being on board. If the cabin itself was really fitted with explosives, and there was a manual detonator when Irina lands in enemy country, in enemy territory, she gets out to safe distance, then presses the detonator and blows up the whole capsule. That would make sense. That would make sense both pragmatically and ethically. Having it explode, no matter who's on board, makes sense pragmatically, but not ethically. But we're talking about vampires here, so I guess ethics don't really apply to them. Yeah, keep quiet about it. It's a shame you had to witness that. She's just experiencing shock. She will recover. I'll make sure of it. And yeah, they won't stop at your head. They'll take mine too. Is uh he's the biggest ally and the biggest enemy here. He's the biggest ally because he has an active interest in the mission going well, in Irina being in a good state, in Lev having everything he needs to keep Irina in good state, but also the biggest enemy because if Lev and Irina do decide to bail, do decide to run, then he will do everything to stop them. Because if they do run away successfully, it will be his head that rolls, and only his. And here's the ED. And the next episode is probably focused just on Irina. Some more training, stuff like that. Cables. Hmm. I don't really know what more to say about this episode, to be perfectly honest with you. I think I said everything that needed to be said during the discussion, and it's not like we're doing anything revolutionary for the series here. It's mostly same formula all the time, right? Lev and Irina growing closer, Irina going through some exercise, Lev going through some, mental gymnastics, trying to figure out if he, well, not figure out, I think he has it figured out that he likes Irina. But yeah, Lev going through his thing, Irina going through her thing, and the upper brass going through their thing. one significant thing that happened in this episode is that Lev got promoted back, so he can actually be a cosmonaut. That makes me wonder, maybe. Hmm, maybe we will actually launch Irina into space in this season still. She will succeed at coming back, and through some means, through something, she will not be disposed of, but instead will be given a chance to go to space with Lev. I guess that would make sense if the story wasn't set in not Soviet Russia, right? It would have made sense if it was a Japanese space program, for example, right? And they want to send a vampire first because they are more resilient. And if the vampire comes back, they want to send a mission with humans. And Lev is on that mission with Irina, because in case something fails, Irina can save the situation, right? If there are some conditions under which Lev passes out, Irina is there to help them. Uh, that would make sense if it was a more light-hearted show. I mean, it is fairly light-hearted, but it has some dark undertones, some serious dark undertones. So I don't think it goes in this direction. I still stand by my opinion that sooner or later they will have to run. Be it before the launch, be it after launch, they will have to run. I don't know yet if that will be part of the season of anime itself, or will it be left as a cliffhanger for the next season, or will we not even get that far in this season? Perhaps the season will end with Irina launching and Irina and Lev running away from not Soviet Russia would be something that happens after. So something left for season 2, or manga, or light novel, or whatever it's based on. I think it's based on light novel. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, even though the whole series follows a nice, predictable scheme, it's hard to predict it. Because the predictable part is the relationship between our characters, the unpredictable part is everything that's underneath. All the military stuff, all the government stuff, that is hard to predict. To a degree, because we know that something will go awry. Either the launch will be bad, or the re entry will be bad, or they will try to dispose of Irina, and Irina and Lev will have to run. Something like that will happen because we're talking about not Soviet Russia here. So there cannot be a good ending. I think that much is true. Well, there cannot be a good ending to their plot, and there can be good ending to our characters if they do actually manage to run. I'm curious. I'm really curious about how it goes. I really am. I know that I only spend like barely 50 minutes on it, and I usually go above an hour. But there really isn't much to talk about here, sad as it is. Yeah, it's mostly the same thing over and over, with the actual progress being made underneath on the bottom layer, on the layer of counting down towards the launch, all the failed tests, all the intrigue. Speaking of intrigue, what was the deal with someone burning Irina's photo in one of the episodes? Who was that? We still don't know. They just showed us that little scene and there was absolutely no follow up to it. I'm still curious about it. What happened? What happened? I don't think they're gonna just leave us hanging. I think they will actually, you know, show what was it all about. But I wanna know. I don't wanna be left hanging. Okay, now I think that really is all. I'm hungry and I need to get something to eat. So, we're gonna end this episode here. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Leave a comment down below what you thought of this episode. Are you happy about the pacing? Are you happy about how the story progresses? What are your thoughts about how it's all gonna go? But no spoilers from the source material, please. I really wanna enjoy the story, how it unfolds. Don't wanna be spoiled, so keep that in mind. Subscribe to the channel if you wanna be notified of future uploads of this series and others. Currently, it's also Sci-Fi and a Paladin, Princess Principal, and Takt of Destiny. So if you like any of those titles, you can find them on my channel as well. If you really like what I'm doing, you can support me on Patreon. There's a link down in the description. There are some nice bonuses for you if you do decide to support me. For just $1 a month, you get access to my Discord server, for example. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it from me for today. So do all the good stuff, guys, and cheers.